Saturday, May the 13th, 2023, and thanks to the train strikes and the bad weather during the week, I'm doing a Saturday walk and a local one in West Hertfordshire, starting here in Markyate, betwixt St Albans and Luton. About to undertake around 11 miles of a circular with typical Hertfordshire countryside at the moment. Bit of a grey sky, around 16 degrees, so pretty decent walking weather temperature wise. The sun is due to pop out later, so I understand. So let's see how we go. I do believe this is walk number 265 from North Herts Ramblers Library, a Markyate Circular, and straight away you can see Hertfordshire Way kicks in, albeit that we're not following that very far at the moment. Yeah, so thanks to North Herts Ramblers group for this walk. Looking back over Markyate there, got a pretty lofty height range today, starting at around 470, going up as high as 774 near Whipsnade, Dunstable Downs. We have had quite a lot of rain over recent days, but at the moment it's no more than sticky underfoot. And as well as the skylarks, which you may just about be able to hear, we are obviously pretty close to Luton Airport again, so some jet noise will likely be an issue today. There is a bit of a breeze as well, quite a chill one, so there's a bit of an easterly direction to it, but nothing too untoward, I don't think. So having just come through a Kissing Gate, now back on the Hertfordshire Way, brief sojourn away from it. Now just passing the hamlet of Row End on the map, walking down this quiet lane, Row End Lane, and out of nowhere it really is, because I didn't see any warning of it coming a couple of weeks back. We've got the old cow parsley, and as you will recall, for those that have been watching for a few years now, this signifies one of my favourite times of the year. Do love it when the cow parsley is in full bloom for the few weeks that it is. But interestingly, this normally comes out around April 24, because there is a fly, St Mark's fly if I recall, that lives for the cow parsley, and I haven't seen any St Mark's flies of late either. So called because St Mark's Day is April 24th, if memory serves me well, and it doesn't very often these days. No, old age creeping in. Chiff chaff, blackbird. And I might be able to just throw a song thrush in there above the jet noise, not quite sure. There you are, Beechwood Home Farm. Follow this track past Gravel Pit Wood on the right there. Rape on the left, Gravel Pit Wood on the right. I think the history behind that is pretty clear. And there is a cuckoo in Gravel Pit Wood. Hopefully you heard that. Above the white throat on my left. Yeah, there are some cattle out today, grazing on the ground, mind you, for the most part. Not on my path either, hopefully. Passing the farm up here on the right. Sounds like another cuckoo, as opposed to the same one. As I now enter gravel pit wood. Very pleasant mixed woodland around me here. And as you can hear in the background, blackbirds, song thrushes and the occasional cuckoo. There you go, the old song thrush. It's a grey day, so he's pretty vocal today. Wonderful. Good to read. No cycling, it's a footpath. Even though it has the breadth. Just heard a willow warbler in there as well. Still got the embers of the bluebells. The knockings of this season's crop. And I read in our local paper that a whole woodland near Stevenage was ruined by people on motorbikes purposely churning up the bluebells. What is wrong with them? Coming out of gravel pit wood, we take a right, aiming for towards Studham Common. And this is the view on Studham Common. Bit of Luton jet noise in the background, but otherwise skylarks. The sun's still not poking through. Meta got that wrong again. Information panel here about Studham Common in a small car park behind me. You can Google this for more information. Other search engines are available. Yep, a sign of the times. You could of course park up in that little car park behind me and using the GPX track, as I'm doing, do the walk from here. That's the beauty of these GPX tracks, you can start at any point on it really. And I forgot to add that today I'm doing mine in a clockwise direction, and it is 365, NHRG 365, not 265. So they've accumulated quite a number of walks now, this obviously being a relatively new one. That song is, I do believe, a willow warbler. And I wonder if that's a honey buzzard. It's not quite as heavily set as a normal buzzard. It's being attacked by crows anyway. It's got slightly thinner wings. Summer visitor if so, and quite rare. Just stood in front of the war memorial here, which itself is in front of the Red Lion on the village green. There is a church at Studham Manor, which I think might come too early in the walk, not sure yet. I might continue on to Whipsnade, which will be another 3 miles or an hour or so longer. Let's see. Nice little village hall over there. Nice surroundings as well. Don't recall being over this way before. So the village is a bit busier than normal today because of the Mayfair, interestingly enough. Passing a church of some description there, a modern one. Can't imagine that's the church I was thinking about. Let's see. No, it isn't, because here we're following a path to St Mary's Church, as you can see there. St Mary's Church coming into view, and that's quite amazing. I've actually just seen a cuckoo. A male flew out the hedge. It's the first one I've actually seen for many, many years. Wonderful. Yeah, I quite like the look of this church. Might stop here for lunch. It's 2 o'clock now. (2:30). Lunch has been had, and no dedication to this seat, just a message, as you can see there. But very pleasant it is. Nice location in amongst this memorial area. Very pleasant churchyard this, save for the odd jet, accompanied by swallows and some robins busy hunting for food for their young. Plenty of swallows around this church, which is interesting. It's got overhanging roof, but I doubt there's any martins up there. So as you can see, St Mary the Virgin. That's good to see as well. I wonder how many thousands of years that will last. And no sooner have I left my seat over there than the robin is having a tidy up. Well, the church is open unusually, so in I come. Gardeners round the back doing the gardening. And there is a kitchen area and toilet on the right as well. Incredible the way these churches have modernised. Interesting roof here. Nice leaded window. Lovely organ. Yeah, there you go, relatively new. and a view back. Lovely carnations there. Week on from the coronation, and they are carnations, I believe. Quite an interesting church door, this one. Never seen one like this. Right, let's press on. So as I leave the church, 4 mile in, 7 to go or thereabouts. So as with the last walk, it's a longer afternoon, but doesn't matter. I'm fed and watered, that's the main thing. Thankfully it's sheep this afternoon. These are obviously pretty used to humans. Now following a section of the Chiltern Way on the edge of this woodland. Come out of Church Grove, heading for Long Spoons Wood ahead of us. Some kind of steam train over there that I've heard her hooting for the last hour or so. Not sure where that is. It is of course Whipsnade Zoo, which I'm walking alongside now. So as I enter Studham Lane, we're now joining the Icknield Way trail as well, and as you can see we're now in Bedfordshire. This is Studham Lane, the Greenway. The green here in Whipsnade is another place you could park and start the GPX track. Just passing Dell Farm on the Icknield Way still, just having crossed the busy road in front of the entrance to the zoo. Passing Frog Corner there. So as you can see, we're into May and it's meant to be no mow May. Clearly Bedfordshire Central Beds are not adhering to that. Absolutely ridiculous. What is the point? I mean, we've got a bridleway here, it's a good 6 foot wide, and they still have to cut the vegetation. So at this juncture you could continue straight ahead towards Dunstable Downs following the Icknield Way trail, or, which adds about another mile to the walk, no real problem with that, but I've chosen not to go that way today simply because it's a Saturday and it could well be busy, and also we did the scenery not so long back, so I'm taking the path off the Icknield Way, doing a different variant. Still be about 11 mile hopefully. Okay, I'm recording 750 foot here. So today's high point, as we look back over the car park there in ZSL Whipsnade Zoo. Maybe the highest point, but it's also the muddiest. Opposite Sallow Springs here, private road. We now rejoin the Chiltern Way, do a sharp right down this lane. So we come off the Chiltern Way briefly to have a look at Sallow Springs Wildlife Trust area, And there in the image, as you can see, is a bullfinch, which I haven't seen for years, nor heard. Then you rejoin the Chiltern Way after that brief diversion. No bullfinches seen or heard. Then we come off the lane into the National Trust's Whipsnade. Yeah, I wonder who that is. Chancel. What a lovely place to be buried, eh? Surrounded by these birch. So we've just left something called the Whipsnade Tree Cathedral. Interesting. Again, use an appropriate search engine if you wish to learn more. I see where I was in the chancel, silver birch and yew. So obviously whoever was buried there decided to pick the chancel. Interesting. All very pleasant round here. Came to Whipsnade as a very youngster, about 3 or 4 years old. But obviously I don't recall this. Wonderful. Now entering St Mary Magdalene, Whipsnade. Don't know if you can see that because of the brightness. That's better. Wildflower conservation going on. 100 different species of wildflowers. Wonderful. Bit of music being played soon as well. June 17th. And another plain and simple church, just like the last one in Studham, which looked like it had been pebble dashed. Yeah. And the church is indeed open. Here's the bell tower. And again a toilet on my left, modern addition. And the kitchenette. Yeah. No leaded glass here. One small window to the rear. That's all. Lovely little place. Plain and simple. And another interesting door of the type that splits in halflet. So when you push it open, only half of it opens, or all of it if you so wish, but predominantly just the half of it. So as I thought, the back of the church is different again. Look, brick. So the front has been kind of screeded over. Now this church is 7 mile into the walk, so you could hold out for here as I was planning to, leaving just 4 to complete the afternoon's walking. albeit that it is now 4 o'clock. So there are a couple of seats there, as you can see, in the corner, nicely positioned. So you take a choice, really. Depends how you want it. I think I made the right choice in the end. Couple more seats on the left as well, as we leave the church through the gate at the back, still on the Chiltern Way. Passing shot of St Mary Magdalene, and the sun is still nowhere near to be seen. In fact, I've just checked and the Met have put its appearance back to 6 o'clock now, so it's likely that it won't appear on this walk. Shame really, because it should have kicked in around lunchtime. There you go, the reliable Met for you as we head towards Heath Wood here. The official finger post is over there, but someone's cut a hole in the hedge behind me, because as you can see that lane is quite busy. So there is now a well-worn path with a hole in the hedge there, immediately opposite where you come out, which is very convenient. And our onward journey now is alongside Heath Wood here. Passing a very pleasant estate in the village or hamlet of Holywell. Wonderful, predominantly bungalows as well. Leaving the Holywell estate behind us, into woodland here, briefly anyway. We're on something called the Queen Elizabeth Jubilee Walk, amongst others. No cycling, but people clearly are. Outrageous, that's why this path is so muddy, for sure. As you can see. The old song thrush is busy in this wood. Or was. Now the jet's drowning him out. 4:30, which is why the song thrushes are so busy, and the jets tend to coincide around this time in the afternoon, I've noticed over the years. Black cap there in the hedges. So we come out into open country. Another development of expensive woodland homes over there. Old Hill Wood, that is. Yeah, it'd be nice to have one of them if you could afford it. Small lottery win. Walking alongside the edge of Byeslip Wood on the map, and again cyclists, it's a footpath, cyclists are decimating the path. I guess the only way to stop this is to put the large circular kissing gates at the entrances to the path. Now walking alongside Byeslip Wood towards Deadmansey Wood. Another month and this barley will soon be ready. Just a slight hue to it now. Bit of sun and that'll soon turn. Mind you, we've got to get the sun first. passing the interestingly named buckwood stubs. But there's some history behind that if you search for it. Looks like some kind of fuel depot. Wonderful hedge here on my right. Look how it's been properly cut at the top, thick at the base, full of native species. There's beech in there, hawthorn, blackthorn, some other species as well, can't identify. Wonderful. And amazingly, I don't know if the landowner was aware of it, but it is protecting from the prevailing southwesterly winds. So every possible kind of positive is there with this hedgerow. There should be more of them, I say. Excellent. I've noticed quite a lot of this recently. The old strips for the pheasants or set aside are being ploughed up. Obviously it's been ploughed up since the field was planted with barley there, but yeah, I wonder what they're doing with these. Would be lovely if they were reseeding it with wildflowers, because the bush hedgerow there will prevent any decent crop for the most part of it. Be a shame to see these go, although the government still haven't sorted out the environmental land management scheme payments. Like many things. See, here's a traditional kissing gate, which is all broken anyway, but as you can see from the tyre marks there, it's easy for the cyclist to get through, whereas one of the big modern aluminium circular ones would hinder them enough to deter. That's what it needs. Plenty of room here for one as well. We are back in Hertfordshire, I notice, on footpath 16, but yeah, that's what needs doing. Well, there's an example of the kind of gate I'm referring to, and it looks like the onward journey at this point is blocked anyway, the official path, and we go down the field edge here. Yeah, and there is Markyate over there. So journey's end, no sunshine. Amazing. That's very good, because there's a little lane there over the other side of this hedge where the original GPX track would have taken you to, down that redundant footpath. But now, walking along the field edge, it's clear that the path takes you into Markyate on the safe side of the hedge. Excellent, common sense. And that brings us back to where we started this morning. So the journey henceforth is duplication, albeit that it wasn't recorded. Okay, let's finish up here at this memorial. 4 hours 14, 11.4 miles. And that was a very pleasant walk indeed. Shame the sun didn't come out, and still hasn't come out, but nonetheless, a top quality walk for the area. Wasn't expecting that. So again, North Herts Ramblers have done a good job there, and extending it by the extra mile wouldn't necessarily have improved it any. Maybe on a weekday when it's less crowded. Paths were generally okay, a few muddy patches, but we have just had a lot of rain, so what do you expect? So that was North Herts Ramblers Group Walk 365, a Markyate Circular completed, and very pleasant it was. So until the next time, which may or may not be next week, depends on the weather and the trains of course, although I don't think there is a strike next week. It's absolutely ridiculous, this strike business, it really is. But like I say, until the next time, take care.